This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. If you could learn to work and play and get along with each other. You got to listen to your heart, listen to the beat.
Welcome everybody to Wednesday War Games episode 51. Joining me as always is my wonderful co-host Liam.
What are you doing?
Oh, you abandoned me?
I don't get what this is.
So you're like, let's start the whole episode with a musical, but you're going to do a full sung-through musical episode of Wednesday War Games. I sing the entire intro with my wonderful singing voice, and then you leave me hanging. That's what you do to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've AEW'd this podcast. That's what you...
What does that even mean?
You have not put in the requisite effort to do the correct musical episode.
Oh yeah, you don't even commit enough to do the full episode as a musical, which is obviously what they should have done.
And that's what I was about to do, but you then come in with your, hello, I'm from Australia and I don't sing in public.
Yeah, that is our national creed.
Name one good Australian singer.
The guy who sang We Come From a Land Down Under.
Oh no, I can't dispute that. That would be immoral for me to dispute that.
Yeah. And, I'm sure there's another one.
Kylie Minogue, is she a good singer?
Yeah, sure.
Hugh Jackman is a good singer.
Hugh Jackman, yeah, he does musicals.
I've seen Hugh Jackman live in concert once.
Ooh.
As he sung an assortment of songs from shows he has starred in, such as Les Mis and The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, I saw... This is my type 5. Yeah, I saw Les Mis. It sure made me miserable.
We're just going to name drop musicals with the bad jokes.
Yeah.
We are the cats of podcasts.
Oh, fuck.
By cats, we mean the film, not the musical.
Or the sports team.
Oh, yeah, remember that? Oh, you thought I was mocking your sports team, not making a musical reference, and then you realized I was mocking your musical, but then you got sad that your sports team lost the grand final? Which you will be very upset to know they did not air the grand final here. I was looking for it, and it was not on any of the sports channels. So I'm like, oh, the disrespect to Australian sport.
I know. There's even an Irish player, Garrett.
It was one of the GAA players that abandoned GAA for money.
Why would I know that?
You just were like, it's an Irish player. I assumed you had a deep biographical background on this person.
No, I have his Guernsey there.
Oh, nice. Guernsey is an upsetting word.
I know, I hate it.
It's just, oh.
I'm just so used to Jersey.
Jersey is a perfectly okay. It's just Guernsey. It's just not
Guernsey.
A nice word in your mouth. Guernsey.
I mean, it's very, like, Australian in nature.
It's up there with like moist and other such bad mouthfeel words.
I never had a problem with the word moist.
Neither do I. A lot of people have a problem with the word moist, and if they do, we've said the word moist 4 times already on this podcast. It's a very moist podcast.
What's the other ones that people hate? Let's just say all the words that people hate.
Alright, I'm gonna Google words people hate.
Well,
You're gonna, yeah, we may get a different list there. Alright, words everyone seems to hate. Word counter blog. Is there just a list? There is a list. Alright, I'm going to read the entire list.
cool.
Blog.
And I'll
Bulbous.
tell you if I'll give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Alright, we'll start again. Blog.
Fine.
Bulbous. Chunky.
Fine.
Clogged.
Yeah, I don't like clogged.
Curd.
Oh, well.
Dripping.
Dripping.
You haven't given it a thumbs up or thumbs
Oh,
down.
dripping. Yeah, it's alright.
Fester.
Ooh.
Fetus.
I get it.
Gurgle.
Gurgle. Yeah, it's okay.
Jowls.
Jow. That's solid. That's a solid word.
Lugubrious.
I don't even know what that means.
Maggots.
Yeah.
Our favourite. Moist.
Moist.
Mucus.
Okay.
Munch.
I feel like it's interesting that most of these words are just like gross things.
Yeah,
and also happen to have words that like people don't like the mouthfeel of.
Orifice.
Orifice, odd word.
Panties.
Ooh, how sultry.
Phlegm.
Yeah.
Pustule.
Ew.
Queasy.
Making me feel bloody queasy.
Roaches.
Who doesn't like the word roaches? Like, who, like, I mean, maybe not like it, but who's so fundamentally opposed to the word roaches?
It's, and yeah, it's well, roaches as an idea is quite. I wouldn't like to see
That's the thing.
actual roaches.
Yeah,
but
it's the actuality of it, not the word that we gave them.
secrete,
Yeah.
slacks,
Ugh, never support any slack.
slurp, smear.
This is a good bit, right?
No, it depends. We're reading a list of words that people don't like to hear, and then it's been 2 minutes. We're nearly there. Squirt,
Yes, well,
viscous.
viscous is solid. I actually think viscous. I'm very pro the word viscous.
Yeah, viscosity, wonderful word. Vomit, which is again, what's wrong with the word vomit?
We don't even say the word vomit here.
What do you say?
Spew.
Spew, throw up, puke.
Yeah, we say spew or throw up. We don't say puke or... Well, maybe you go. We do actually. No, I'm taking it back. I'm walking back my vomit comment.
We say gawk sometimes. There you go. And finally, yoke.
Yolk.
According to wordcounter.net, do we have an author of this article? It doesn't appear to have an author, so I can't
give
cite
credit.
anybody. According to wordcounter.net, those are the words everyone seems to hate, and we have pronounced all of them on this podcast. You're welcome. Are we just going to do anything but talk about these wrestling shows? There's no video game news.
Yeah, and there's nothing big. What? Nothing's happened.
Well, there's a console out in 3 weeks, but until then...
I won't be buying it because there's no more pre-orders and hasn't been for like a month.
That's not nice. I didn't even plan to get one. It went on sale, and I was just like, fine. And I bought it. That's the way my brain works. Even with the Xbox Series S, I got a Series S, and I didn't even intend to. I just went on to the site, and it's like, oh, they still have Series S's. I want a Game Pass machine, and I bought a Series S.
I could have got the Xbox. That was the one that
brand loyalty. Is this it?
Oh no, I've never I didn't like the Xbox at all. That was the problem. So it's kind of soured me.
I've never owned an Xbox. This will be my first Xbox. I've never had a machine that can play Halo. Actually, no, I have. This PC can play Halo. Never mind.
Yeah. My grandmother had a 360. Either way, I had both through extended family.
Is your grandmother a gamer?
No, she had.
Why
one
did you have an
for
Xbox
me.
360? Oh, for you. Okay.
Yeah, she just had them for her grandkid in case to shut them up. I imagine.
Has she ever played a game with you?
Yeah.
What game?
She's definitely played WWE games. Years.
No, bad games is what you're saying.
Some of them were good.
I think my dad's only ever played one game with me randomly, because I was playing Tekken. It might have been Tekken 2.
I feel like Tekken is the most casual, friendly, family plays this game together game. More than even any other fighting game. I feel like for some reason Tekken just has that aura about it where it's like, oh, come on, Mum, play Tekken, come on. She'd be like, oh, no, I don't play game. And then she'll play it because she'll be like, oh, all right.
I suppose other than the Wii era games where it's like Wii Sports, which is very much it. Go on. Look, you can use your arm. You can throw a bowling ball.
Look, we're doing the sport, but inside.
So yeah, it was either Tekken or Tekken 2 back in the PlayStation days. We played probably said rubbish, and then moved on.
Did you body him?
I probably did, or maybe I let him win out of pity.
There's always those moments where you're like, to make them have at least enough fun that this might continue, I have to give them some, but I could crush them with no mercy as well.
See, I've also never been good at any. There's a good chance I would have just lost on complete lack of merit.
Yeah, but also you're fighting a novice. You should be able to, even with adequate skill.
These wrestling shows, every week we talk about them.
Every single week, we never missed a week.
Because we never missed a week, but we're doing a double episode nonetheless. We're not going to do full coverage of these shows in 2 weeks ago, because as I opened the NXT results and I was like, Damian Priest against Dexter Lumis.
It's a weird
Did that
match.
happen?
Yeah.
And so we'll do high level thoughts of the shows from actually no, this is going up tomorrow. So the shows from 2 weeks ago. Detailed thoughts of the shows from last week, as we increasingly just we're just gonna slowly fall further and further behind.
Much like NXT.
Every week we review both shows. AEW won last week, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So we'll
let's
start
just
with
assume.
AEW this week. AEW Dynamite 2 weeks ago. What did you think? Miro showed up. There was Cody and Orange Cassidy had a very long draw.
Yeah, I didn't like the Cody match.
It had the most we're going a draw energy of any match I've seen in quite a while. Because like they did the starting stuff, the feeling out process. Dark Order got kicked out, and that's when you think, oh, ramp up, go to the finish. And then Cody slowed down and sat on him, and that was the moment. Like halfway through the match, it's like time limit draw.
I don't know, like unlike with the Derby time limit draw, like I don't think anything really achieved anything from this. Yeah.
It's set up a very important lumberjack rematch, Liam. Is that not the most important?
But also, like, I didn't really like this match. I thought it was pretty boring. I liked to show you how like boring I thought this match was. I liked the FTR tag more.
Oh no! Actually, the FTR tag was pretty good until it fell apart at the like last 2 minutes.
Yeah, things were a bit wonky at the end there, but yeah, I liked the FTR tag a lot more than the TNT title match.
Yeah, when the FTR tag suddenly veered into having to set up a story about an arcade machine.
Listen,
like,
listen, I'm gonna defend it. Because,
defend the arcade machine, Liam.
Yeah. First of all, why was that arcade machine out there in the first place? You can't get angry at that getting broken when you're playing arcade games next to a pro wrestling match.
Mm.
But I did love Miro. Like Miro just coming in and murdering them was the sickest. Like, and it should end in a handicap match with them against Miro. Just take Kip out of it completely.
They should hang an arcade machine from a pole.
They should just hang a switch from a pole.
The Kip is inside the arcade machine, and it's a handicap arcade machine on a pole match.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. No, yeah, actually Penelope's teaming with Miro.
It would probably be a better match.
But I was gonna say they should add that guy who does all of his matches while using the switch to this group.
What's his name? It's Leroy something or other, isn't it? Big Game Leroy. There we go.
Yeah, they should add him to the Miro Kip Sabian group. I saw
the Gavers crew.
Someone made a really good dunk on Miro and Kip the other night that I saw on Twitter, where they were posting about how they got their first win in Warzone, and someone just responded with, "This is their whole gimmick, and they're not even good at the game." And it just made me laugh.
Listen. Have you ever won in Warzone?
Hey, shut up! It's not my TV gimmick.
I've never actually. Have I played? Did I play Warzone? The brief moment I played Call of Duty with you, I might have.
I think we played like just regular multiplayer.
There we go. So I might not have played Warzone. I've won a single game of Fortnite, by the way.
Ooh, I've also won Fortnite.
I was lagging the hell out the entire game and like freaking out, and I shotgun blasted the last guy, so it was like total fluke. But nonetheless, I have won Fortnite Battle Royale. I
won my first game of Fortnite that was with actual people and not bots.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, in a 4v4. And I think what helped was it was in my like height of playing Warzone a lot, which is a much more difficult game. So then I switched to Fortnite and I was like, oh, this is pretty easy.
And Fortnite, you're in there with like everybody. So like Switch gamers, PC people, or phone people. Actually, do you get paired with phone people? You might not.
I wouldn't suspect that. I'm good at the phone battle royals. I've played
a few. Fortnite on your phone?
Not Fortnite, but I've played PUBG on my phone when I was in university a fair bit. And yeah, I was pretty decent at that. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that one.
For being able to beat like 60-year-old ladies.
Yes, I'm sure that is the demo of PUBG.
That is the demo who plays PUBG on their mobiles.
Like, I suppose I don't have the statistics with me to prove otherwise.
Yeah, I can say whatever I want.
What else happened on this show? Lee Johnson was on the main show.
Yeah, didn't he lose? Who did he lose to?
Miro and Kip Sabian.
Oh yeah, that was very upsetting. There's Moxley and Lance Archer, who had a decent main event. I didn't love it though.
Yeah, I saw some people go pretty nuts.
I thought it would have been in the, like, obviously it's not nearly as bad as the Jake Hager match, but it's probably in the lower end of recent John Moxley.
Yeah, and I was also kind of disappointed in Sheeta and Swole.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Nothing special. But they didn't even go for anything special either, though. It's not like they went for this
They just
big
had,
match.
like, a TV match. And I was like... Yeah. I was kind of hoping for, like, one of these random Sheeta performances that really blows me away. Like her stuff with Nyla.
Penelope in particular.
Yeah. Like, because Sheeta, like... She's very clearly, like... She has to be the ace of the women's division that they have. But, like, I would like if she can bring everyone up... As I hit my laptop, she can bring everyone up to that level, but it just didn't work. It was swell.
And that's AEW from 2 weeks ago, I think, more or less.
But yeah.
Which brings us to AEW Dynamite this week, which we will go blow by blow, starting with a match you loved a great deal. Wardlow defeated Jungle Boy in the first round of the AEW title eliminator.
This is far and away the best Wardlow match.
Adored this match. I thought this was a good. I think this is a nice little 3.25 star match. Both guys look good.
4
Wardlow
stars.
won. And then you were like, you were just going nuts over it.
Yeah, this match ruled. And I think a lot of it was I was really invested in watching it because I was like, they could just put Jungle Boy over, couldn't they? That'd be the most AEW thing in the world to just put Jungle Boy over here.
Slip on the banana peel, roll up Wardlow.
Yeah.
Wardlow looks me. Wardlow beats him up after the match so nobody gets over. All the fun booking tropes.
Honestly, what I thought was... I was really happy with this match because it proved to me... Obviously, I don't know if it did for you, but it proved to me that he could go outside of the circumstances that we love to talk about so much.
I don't know. This was a very... Like, this was as Wardlow a Wardlow match as you're going to Wardlow.
No. As Wardlow of a Wardlow match as you're going to Wardlow is the 1 minute Wardlow squashes and dark.
That's true, but this was like the fiery babyface fighting underneath Wardlow's too much for him. It's the second most Wardlow match that Wardlow is ever going to Wardlow.
Yeah, but Wardlow rules, so Wardlow doing a Wardlow match is great.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say this is some like proof or some test that he has passed that shows that he is this great versatile act.
Oh, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying he's Kenny Omega out there. I'm just saying
he's better.
We had a better match on this show. But yeah, I think I liked it, and I liked... This was also one of the... Because, I'm very on-off with Jungle Boy as well, but I like Jungle Boy here just being babyface who gets thrown around a ton.
I thought Jungle Boy on a technical execution level in this match was very good. I would have liked to see more fire. I didn't think he didn't have that babyface fire that you're looking for.
Because he doesn't really emote in that way.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't emote at all, really. Which you want fire. Give me fire, Liam.
That's the weirdest part of it, is like he wrestles exactly like a fiery babyface, but he's also very stoic at the same time and doesn't talk. So it's like, it's an odd mixture of, like someone would say it's a clash of babyface ideals here. Because you can do like stoic badass guy, or like you can do fiery youngster. You can't really do both at the same time.
It's just, and it's probably because he's
smoldering, I think is the word that I'm looking for.
He is very young and he is relatively inexperienced, so he's still probably in his head about like hitting his spots more than he is about doing the in-between bits. Which hopefully that's the thing that will hopefully come with experience and time. But for now,
this will probably be like an AEW title match in 6 years.
Like an all-out main event of Jungle Boy against Wardlow.
Yeah, when Wardlow's the biggest star in the world.
Wardlow, he'd be 38, so that's not too far past it.
No, that's Kenny now.
Well, Kenny is a different kettle of fish, isn't he? He's a different Kenny of fish.
I knew that like that's what you were going to go for, but I was like, I hope he doesn't.
You could hear the disappointment in my voice as it was coming out. Yeah,
because you're like, this isn't like coming out as like phonetically as you had hoped. You were just like, nope, this is forced.
It's like, it's when you're like trying to come up with wordplay. And you're just like Kenny of fish, kettle of Kenny, fish of Kenny, but then you're doing it live on a podcast without actually well, not edit. I'm going to edit in a much better pun. This is live.
I'm streaming it.
Yeah, well, I'll do the thing where I edit in the much better pun like I did. If I come up with it while I'm editing.
Like,
a whole different barrel of Bullet Club babes detective. There you go.
Oh, no.
Oh, we had a promo from Jon Moxley as he's like, I'm going to beat up Eddie Kingston in an I Quit match.
But first, they replayed the great post-show promo from King from last week, which I thought was really good. I really loved that. And then just to jump ahead a little bit, the response promo that King had to this promo here is legitimately one of my favorite Eddie Kingston promos.
I wish they picked a better stipulation than
I think it's going to be better than you think it's going to be. I think these two are smart enough to use it well.
Exactly as good as I think it's going. Because I don't think it's going to be a bad match. I just think that literally any other stipulation you could give them would be a better.
I just hope King doesn't try and focus too much on like the grappling aspect of an I Quit match, and I hope it's more the brutal brawl I Quit match. You know what I mean? Like there's two types. There's like the one where the guy's trying to like choke or tap the guy out the entire time, and then there's the one where they're like hitting each other with all the giant spots and they're doing all the hardcore spots trying to get the guy. And I hope it's going to be more that brawl than it's going to be King putting him in a knee bar or something and telling Mox to tap.
If it's the holds one, it will be a worse match than I think it is. Yeah, like if you pick the Falls Count Anywhere or Street Fight or No Ropes Barbed Wire Death Match or Concrete Jungle Street Fight or just Death Match, do any of those, I think they picked I Quit, which sure. In their defense, I Quit makes sense for the story because the idea is that Kingston never quit the submission hold, and that's what Mox wants him to do. So like they've justified the stipulation, and the stipulation makes sense in the story.
You know what it should have been? Fight pit.
Ah, yeah, put the cage up. Get Kurt Angle into referee.
Or even like, you know what? Honestly, do the AEW cage because I've only seen that once.
Yeah, one cage match. Who's going to moonsault off it though? It's a rule.
Kingston.
Kingston moonsault off the cage.
Honestly,
yeah.
Phoenix. And then he'll land on his own head.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Kenny Omega defeated Sonny Kiss in a match that made people very angry.
This was so good. This was one of the best things that, like, one of the best AEW Dynamite moments. From, like, the 5-minute intro.
Kenny came out to a very long introduction. Bullet Club babes were sweeping. He had intro music before his actual music. Intro music I did not particularly like, and I'm glad it pivoted back into his actual music.
I thought it was going to be a remix of his actual.
It's just a long introductory thing.
You know, my favorite thing about it that it's like underplayed and no one really notices is that his Titantron is just all weeb shit. It's a Sakura flower opening. It's shots of that main intersection through Japan. It's shots of the dome.
Shots of Kenny walking around Japan, like not even doing it. He's just strolling around Tokyo.
Like, it's really funny. And then like over the top of it, you're just like, the man who broke the Dave Meltzer 5-star scale 7 times.
Which Dave Meltzer was also mentioned a different time in the show. I can't remember when. No, FTR mentioned him as well, I think.
I appreciate Dave being, I don't know, more like, I feel like he's earned his way to be like actually mentioned on these shows now.
He's basically a character on this shit. Dave and the demo ratings are characters on AEW television, basically.
Isn't that like such a weird look into 2020 wrestling?
I guess.
2019 wrestling, even. Like, it's just an interesting aspect of like, now that everyone knows what's there to know about pro wrestling, like, because this is why it's always kind of been for, like, since I was, like, 10. Once I learnt what wrestling was, it wasn't so much about getting in, like, it was more about, like, trying to work out the business aspects of wrestling. Why things were happening. Like, that's, like, part of the fun of it now. Once you know, that becomes part of the zeitgeist, part of the discussion of pro wrestling, is you start learning about, like, why are they going to do this? What are the numbers for this meme? Blah, blah, blah. And, like, now that's gone from beyond just being a Twitter thing that people do and has actually become part of the show now. And for better or for worse, I'm not really going one way or the other on it. I just think it's an interesting way to look at the evolution of pro wrestling.
I was actually going to ask you to pick a side. Is it for better or worse, Liam?
I think I tend to say that the Meltzer stuff is for better, but the rating stuff is for worse. But it's just, and it's interesting that Twitter analyst has become a major part of wrestling television now.
I would lean toward for worse, but sure. It's not one of those things I get really worked up about, but like, I'd rather have my wrestling feuds be built around meaningful stakes than Kenny Omega shouting about star ratings and FTR giving
it's not the crux of a feud. It's meant to be used as one of his like self-aggrandizing lines as he's coming out, and he has a sheet over his thing, so you just see his silhouette.
What should have happened is he should have been like voted match of the week this many times on War Games Pod, and then
I would have shit myself.
Then I would have accepted. But this
what if
Dave
he was
Meltzer
like,
guy
awarded Liam's Wrestler of the Year at the Wednesday War Games year-end awards?
Did you give it to Kenny? I don't even remember.
I
was
gave
back
it to
in December.
No, I meant
Kenny
for
won.
like the one that we just did.
I don't think we formally gave a Wrestler of the Year. We don't. Do that
I said it was Kenny. And you said it was Leo Rush or some shit.
Killed him with a V-trigger, hit him with one wing angel, pinned him in less than a minute. Had less than 30 seconds, actually. People got very mad that Sonny Kiss got squid. Let's face it.
It was going to be Janela. Like, it didn't matter who was in the role.
Sonny Kiss is a lower card act. It's just, I can't get worked up about that.
Like, it's going to be, like, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the exact same. Anyone that's there, it's just, they already picked the tag partner of the person who was supposed to take the 25-second loss.
If they did it to Phoenix, I'd be like, "What are you doing? It's Phoenix." But...
Well, I don't want this to happen, Garrett. But there's a real part of me that hopes next week he does it to Pentagon.
Just V-triggers him, one-wing angels him, pins him.
Yeah, just like, even like maybe hits 2 V-triggers and then one-wing angels him, but like just straight up kills Pentagon in the same way. Not because, you know, obviously from literally, I think week 1 we were saying that Pentagon and Phoenix should be main eventers on this show. Just for the aspect of I can't wait to see the Twitter meltdown.
Tony interviewed Orange Cassidy. He was aloof.
As he's wont to do.
Cody and Aaron arrived via limo.
Ooh. That's really unprofessional for Cody to show up like a quarter into the show. Like, shouldn't he be there helping run the show?
The funny thing is, in his promo, he was like, "I'm not wrestling today. I just want to be executive vice president." And then it's particularly like, and as executive vice president, you showed up like 40 minutes into your television show.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he was just like, he's relying heavy on Kenny. He's like, Kenny's gonna go out there, he's gonna win quickly, he's gonna produce the first half. The Bucks are too busy super kicking their bosses or whatever.
Hey, they're in the main event. They're very busy preparing for their main event contest.
Which, by the way, if you had told me out of all the matches on tonight that was going to be the main event, I don't know if I would have like automatically assumed.
Well, like, Wardlow's never main eventing yet. Kenny and Sonny Kiss is in the main event.
Added that little thing at the end there.
Realistically, the main event was either Penta and Phoenix or the tag match.
Yeah, I probably thought it was going to be Penta. I don't know. I think I said Penter.
Penter L0M.
Pentagon.
Speaking of Pentagon and Phoenix, Phoenix defeated Pentagon to...
This match was so crazy.
Briefly advance in the tournament, eliminator tournament, until he nearly died falling on his head. So he's been removed from the tournament and Pentagon replaced him, which I actually kind of don't like. If the guy is injured, just the guy who beat him, or the guy who he was meant to face, should get a bye.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and also that works perfectly for Kenny's thing.
Yeah.
It's like he gets a bye and then he's like, in 2 matches I became number 1 contender in under a minute or whatever.
So yeah, instead of like the guy who lost the match is now advancing, which is kind of dumb, just give Kenny a bye. Kenny gets a bye into the final because his opponent can't compete.
I was also going to say, like, I think there was a promo that they did, but I haven't been able to find it. But I heard people talking about there was a promo where Eddie was convincing Phoenix to give it to Penta, and then Penta like kind of shit on Phoenix.
Was it on Sammy Guevara's blog? Could have been on
Maybe?
Sammy Guevara's blog.
Part of the extended BTE universe.
It was in the middle of an episode of Shot of Brandy, maybe?
No, I watched Shot of Brandy this week.
Yeah, they did their Pentagon and Phoenix match. It was a little slower because Phoenix nearly died, and they kind of had to work around that for a while. But yeah, it was a Pentagon and Phoenix match. They did their wacky flip upside down Rana thing that they always do, but it looks awesome.
And Phoenix just dumped it.
Yeah, and Phoenix just died.
It was such a nasty... It was like the nastiest Phoenix. Like, Phoenix is always halfway to killing himself in his matches. But like, that was the closest he got.
Which bless him, and bless him that at no stage this happens to him like twice a year. You know, he flies too close to the sun and plummets, and he still flies too close to the sun. He is truly a phoenix. He is truly a firebird flying to the sun, and no matter how many times he crashes down, he will try and get back up.
As he is falling and his wax wings are melting, he is rebuilding them just to fly back.
Yeah. Bless him. He is a wonderful pro wrestler, and I love him.
This match is a cool match to come out of it, though, because it's the rematch of the All In match.
Yes, is Chris Jericho going to dress up as Pentagon and attack him again?
I think I need to rewatch All In at some point, because it's such a pivotal moment in wrestling history, and was at the time. Like, I think it was. Do you remember the hype going into All In?
Yeah, they sold out a 15,000 seat stadium. It's one of the most important events of the last 20 years of pro wrestling.
And now it can't even draw more than 500 people.
Listen, it's Jacksonville. It's not a hot wrestling market. It's what else? It's raining that day.
That's the only extenuating circumstance.
Dark Order had an interview. You must have been very pleased.
I mean, yeah, always good to see the Dark Order. It's good to... And it's like what we all said before, too. Of course, John Silver starts getting over on BTE and the push translates.
Certainly a way to... Actually, he looked very good in the main event. I'll give him... He looked good in the match.
He's also getting to talk every week now. He's getting a spot every week now. He's doing something.
As this show always increasingly becomes being...
But it's not really.
That's what the second show is going to be on TNT. It's eventually just going to be being the Elite.
It's being the Elite, except, like, they have a BTE title now, which is defended in BTE bits. So, like, I think that's where it goes here. We just transcend wrestling.
Colt Cabana was defeated by Hangman Page as Hangman Page advances to, I assume, lose to Wardlow in the AEW Eliminator Tournament semifinals. Everyone thinks, Hangman and Omega is the final. Hangman and Omega is the final. Wardlow and Omega is the final. Come on, people.
I think I'd spontaneously...
if they actually did Kenny and Wardlow at Full Gear.
Yeah. That'd be the last show that we ever did.
We'd just have to end the podcast. It would be too much.
I'd lose the ability to speak. I'd just be sitting here just like... What? And then, AEW show of the promotion of the year, everything.
I thought this match was pretty good, but nothing special.
Yeah, it was, it's Colt. And Colt's great. And it's like, this is about what you're going to get from Colt. And that's not a bad thing.
A 3-star special, perfectly enjoyable television match.
There was some nasty bumps in this. Hangman trying to kill himself on a random 10-minute match with Colt Cabana.
Listen, he knows he has to get himself over heading into the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that Hangman guy, not over.
Based on the fan response, because there's nobody there, I believe he's not over at all.
This indictment of Hangman Page by Garrett.
Sammy is going to face Matt Hardy in a Elite Deletion match at Full Gear.
Alright, how will Matt almost die this time?
They'll probably just fall off of the freaking stadium or something, I don't know.
What if they actually just kill off Matt Hardy?
And then he'll come back as Damascus. Delete!
No, you'd have a new one.
Oh, we didn't. It happened on the week before show, but like the reveal that Sammy was the one that attacked him was like, okay, sure.
I mean, cool. They really want to get like them to actually have a real match at some point.
Especially because like they didn't do, like they just cut to a Sammy video package where he's like, of course I attacked you. It's like, wasn't this meant to be a mystery a little?
Yeah.
Why did you disguise the fact that you attacked him? Why didn't you just say you attacked him all along?
It was a mystery because he was waiting for Rebby and their children to be on camera so it can be like, ha, I did.
Alright. Taz got a promo.
I love Team Taz. I'm all in on Team Taz now.
Sure.
I just think they're cool. I just want another person in Team Taz and another jumpsuit.
Would you like a Team Taz? I want a Johnny Gargano tracksuit. I've long since established this.
I'll take a Team Taz tracksuit.
Johnny Gargano liked a tweet of mine this week. I was like, I want a Johnny Gargano tracksuit, and I was like, hook me up, Johnny. And then he liked the tweet, and he didn't hook me up, so I'm very upset. I was like,
slide in the DMs.
Yeah, he didn't slide in the DMs and send me a tracksuit. It's like, Johnny, you tease.
Johnny, do you ever want to win more than one show in a row?
In fact, Johnny is far and away the best thing. He hates wheels, Liam. Do you know that he hates wheels?
I do, and I can't stand against that. That's a completely fair point to be.
Which brought us to Le Dinner Debonair.
Yep.
Liam, you hated it. Go on a rant.
No, I didn't hate it.
You were giving out... You wrote like 3 paragraphs about why you didn't like this. That constitutes hate.
It wasn't why I didn't like this. I didn't like that it was world-breaking. The actual segment itself, I think, could be completely justified. It's just annoying that... And it's not just an AEW thing, that all of these companies, they continue to have these like completely like, kayfabe-shattering moments on their shows when they could just have a one-line, throwaway line that could justify the entire thing. The idea that they... First of all, they're not even in a restaurant. They were just sitting at a random chair in front of a curtain. Mm-hmm. So you knew something was up, and then they did the thing, and then if at the end of the musical they just admitted that it was a ploy between Jericho and MJF to get TV time or something, like just give me something. But no, they sat back down and it was a restaurant again. That's what I didn't like about it. I liked the actual music. The actual musical itself was cool. Whatever, it's a fun segment. I don't hate it. It's very much along the lines of a Firefly Funhouse or something like that for me, where I didn't hate it. I thought it was alright. And it annoys me that some people out there are like, yo, this shit, this is what wrestling could be. This is... Because, like, even as... It wasn't even, like, a creative musical. They didn't even go all out with the bit. They could have, like, made it, like, grandiose, but they did the... For me, they took the easiest way of doing the music. And it just shows the low standard that we hold pro wrestling to, where it's like, they can do the most baseline version of something and we'll give it credit. And we'll be like, yeah, that was cool. But it's like, there was so much more there, and they're two very creative people. You could have done so much more. I guess, live, they didn't want to mess it up or whatever. But then, maybe record it earlier in the week, go all out with it. I don't know.
Do you want to know what my problem was, Liam? They didn't write an original song.
I didn't recognize the song because I'm not 55 years old.
It was a Sinatra song. And I was like, when I heard this, like, oh, Jericho and Thing did a musical piece, because I don't watch AEW live lately because I fixed my sleeping pattern. And people were like, oh, they did a musical number. I'm like, oh, sweet, they wrote a musical number. That's pretty cool. Then I like watched it. It's like, wait a minute, this isn't original. Like, I think Jericho changed one line to be about Cody, and the rest was the song as it was. And I'm like, oh,
they changed the lines. There's a few changed lines.
Still, write your own song. And as you said, like, I think there was a very easy way to do this, where like they're doing like a one-upsmanship thing, which they always do, and MJF's like, I'm even a better singer than you, and then they do prove it, and then they break into a music number, then it's justified within the universe. You actually made it work, instead of just like, we're gonna sing a song now, cause I don't know, it's pretty neat. Yeah, original song. Do original song. Come on, you have Chris Jericho. He's a musician. Have him write a freaking original song.
I was just gonna say, like, MJF kind of smoked Jericho on this too.
You think Jericho's dad rock voice isn't as good as MJF?
I think MJF might, like, he was a better singer in this segment.
Wow, heavy shot at Fozzy. Betrayal of Judas. You're the Judas in your mind, Liam.
MJ Fozzy.
M Judas Fozzy. That's what this
Wow.
is going on here.
Maxwell Judas Fozzy.
That is what MJF stands for from now on. And we have the name of this episode.
Maxwell Judas Fozzy versus Wheel.
Who doesn't hate Wheels? But yeah, I wanted it. I was very disappointed when it was.
It was just, I don't know. I didn't hate it. I want more. Maybe am I wrong for wanting more? For wanting better?
Now, welcome to my not having lower standards routinely.
Yeah, but for me, it's about their comedy bits.
Instead of good wrestling. Britt Baker won a squash. She looked fine. One would assume they're setting up Britt Baker against Shida for Full Gear, I guess.
Sure. Will Britt Baker finally make the main show?
It will be the biggest moment of her career. Next week, we have Tay Conti against Abaddon, which Abaddon got injured in that, didn't she?
Yeah. She went to hospital because I think she took an elbow to the throat.
That sounds deeply uncomfortable. Cody versus Orange Cassidy in the Lumberjack match for the TNT Championship.
I don't even want to watch it.
Inner Circle's town hall meeting to determine whether MJF can join the faction.
I'm kind of into that.
And then we had Steve-O showed up. There you go.
Yeah, Big Steve. It wasn't that crazy of a stunt. Like, I'm sure it hurt like a bitch, but you see Steve-O there.
You think Steve-O should have been like, listen, you can do better.
Yeah, I know. I expected like Darby to gig himself and Steve-O to drink the blood or something.
The regular jackass material.
Yeah, I have high standards for Steve-O.
Hey, if the jackass material on a wrestling show is set a bar in any way, 2016
Darby should have beat the shit out of him too.
And then we had our main event in which the Young Bucks defeated Private Party, the Dark Order, and the Butcher and the Blade to become number one contenders for the AEW World Tag Team titles. A match most notable for Alex Reynolds getting knocked out.
He got knocked the fuck out.
And somehow they got him up for like the super kick and stuff. It's like, whoa, no! How did you not communicate to the people that he was knocked out?
Like, the video is so harrowing because like Knox doesn't even check on him.
It's very bad officiating. Like they're not even checking it, and he's not, especially when he's being dragged to the corner and is clearly unresponsive. That's when you're like, is this dude okay? But
also, like, is no one in Knox's earpiece going, "Hey, check on
dude
Alex"?
Okay?
When he's in the ring, not moving during the finish, no one's like, "Alex, you alright, buddy?"
Yeah. The AEW safety protocols seem to be a bit of an issue, don't they?
What are you saying? You're saying that the old Doc isn't on top of it? Is Doc Samson fella?
After the match, FTR decided that this match is suddenly a real important feud, and the Young Bucks are baby faces again, so they jumped them. I don't get the reason for the mystery man nonsense. Like, why couldn't frickin' Tully Blanchard just come out and attack them? Like, why did Tully Blanchard have to disguise himself?
If you're gonna do the disguise, at least just have it be Sean Spears.
I really don't understand the whole idea of Tully Blanchard disguising himself here.
And also, who is it? Who could it be?
Who could it be?
Who is this lumbering gentleman who's having a hard time getting in the ring?
So this feud suddenly has reset the babyface heel dynamic. I don't understand what's happening in it. But I sent this tweet this week that is FTR against the Young Bucks the first like total layup that AEW has just completely missed, and I really think it is.
I think it's because it was a feud that should have had the match like 4 weeks after they came in, but because they really, really wanted to try and have it in front of people, they held it off too long and it got too murky.
And like I agree with that, but then like they clearly decided at least a few weeks ago that FTR and the Young Bucks is the Full Gear match. And then they were still doing like the super kicking Tony Schiavone and beating up Alex Marvez, or no, they super kicked Marvez and broke Schiavone's phone. But like, you know what I mean? Like they were still doing were angsty heels all of a sudden when they knew this match was coming. Like, it's so clumsy. I don't get it.
Oh well, I've turned the corner on the Bucks because of Matt's Shawn Michaels era. It's enough to make me be pro Bucks again.
That's fair. I can't dispute that.
It's a powerful look.
Oh god, Liam, I just realized something as we're recording.
Hell in a Cell is on.
Yeah, I looked at my timeline and I was like, why are people, like, what show are people live tweeting?
We're in the break, so let's get the fans up to date with the Hell in a Cell result.
Alright, we're gonna go 411 Wrestling. Get sad about Larry, as I do every time I go to checks on this site. Where's my Hell in a Cell live results? You doing Hell in a Cell live results website? Apparently they're not. Alright.
Alright, I gotcha. I'll find it. I'll go to Wrestling Inc.
Oh, yay.
Thanks, Mark Middleton.
Woo. I've gone to Steve Kahn's Wrestling Observer results.
Oh, it's not here. It's just the card. Live results.
I've got it. It's your good. R-Truth defeated Drew Gulak to retain the 24/7 championship.
That's still a thing?
And then opening the show was Roman Reigns against Jey Uso. And there we go. We're up to date.
Yep.
There you go.
Cool.
On to NXT we go. NXT from 2 weeks ago. You got thoughts?
Oh, do I ever?
Ashanti the Adonis got beaten by Jake Atlas after he showed up to help Swerve, which I always like. At least he's in a feud, but they're feuding. Sure.
I have zero clue who Ashanti the Adonis is.
It's the Hootie Miles.
I have zero clue who that is.
He showed up on TakeOver to help Swerve, but then they still lost, so he didn't really do a good job, I guess.
I don't have any clue who this guy is.
Johnny Gargano beat Austin Theory.
Yeah. I'd say it's still, the highlights of these shows are the great video packages that they've been doing. Ember had a really good one.
I thought Candice and Shotzi Blackheart had a really match.
Yeah. Actually, I really like Shotzi in that.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's the Halloween spirit, but Shotzi's getting over with me finally.
Yeah, she's taking care of business, Liam.
Oh, now I hate her again. But is she takering care of business?
Tony Storm squashed Aaliyah. Drake Maverick and Killian Dane are still doing their odd couple tag team gimmick.
Oh, I'm kind of liking it though. They're getting me into it now. I don't like Drake's facial expression.
We'll talk about it more because there's another segment of we show, so we'll talk about it more then. And then Damian Priest defeated Dexter Lumis in the main event before Cameron Grimes beat some people up.
You know what's crazy? You know Dexter Lumis? He does his little slide gimmick that he does. He does it out of the ring.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He's actually super athletic, which makes the gimmick make no sense. It's always been very confusing.
What if he just spike himself getting out of the ring?
What if he doesn't?
I guess it stuck around with me enough for me to remember it. Then Grimes came in. He did a great cartoon spot where his hat was still in the ring, so he had to Indiana Jones jump over and get it, and it was perfect.
Yeah, I did quite like that. And the referee, he had to get rid of the evidence, Liam.
I'm a pretty big fan of babyface wins from an interference, but they don't know that the interference happened. I do like that finish.
If Damian Priest saw the hat, would he have been like, "No, I cannot take the victory this way"?
I think we should have established that earlier, that if someone sees that, that'll be the next one. Someone will see the hat, and then he'll be like, "Wait a minute." I thought it was it's probably not the best choice to have him beat up Grimes after the match, though. Kind of further shits on Grimes, but Grimes is whatever.
Well, like, in theory, the idea of Grimes costing him the match is to get heat for those so that you want to see Dexter Lumis get revenge, but then they just let you see Dexter Lumis get revenge. So.
And because it's NXT, there'll probably be a triple threat match for this title.
Oh, good.
Why do they do so many gimmick matches?
We're doing a bunch of them next week for Halloween Havoc, or this week, when this thing finally goes up.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, they go to triple threat so much. It's like their go-to. I don't know.
Which brings us to this week's episode of WWE NXT.
So there's a triple threat.
Which opened with a triple threat match between Kushida, Tommaso Ciampa, and Velveteen Dream. Kushida won. I do not like Jeans Kushida. I've come down on the side. Yeah.
I don't like big jeans Kushida either. It's weird that the guy with probably the best gear in the company, they're like, we need you to switch it up.
Yes, there were, and at all stages, like the 3 wrestlers in this match used to wrestle in basically just wearing a pair of pants. Tahuti Miles wrestles in basically just a pair of pants. Too many people on the show aren't wrestling in wrestling gear.
Yeah. So what? This isn't Street Fight. This isn't Raw Underground.
And it's fine if like one wrestler is like, oh, he's different because he dresses, unconventionally. But now they have like 3 people doing it. 2 of them were in this match, and Tommaso Ciampa used to do it. So
I was gonna say, didn't like Kenny Williams literally have this gear?
Apparently, which was like Kushida kind of inspired. I don't know,
but it's like he literally had like the full jean things though. Like he had them exactly. I don't know.
Kushida still has his like cool white boots, which don't really work with the jeans.
Oh well, gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, this Kushida versus Ciampa match was pretty good.
Yes, nothing else happened. Nobody else was there. Adam Cole was on an iPad.
Yeah. Adam Cole on an iPad was so like jarring, but I was like, I'm cool with it.
It's like he was like legitimately. If you've seen the episode of The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon goes around on an iPad, he was set up like that.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of Undisputed Era, it's just like the 3 of them, and then in the middle is Adam Cole on an iPad.
Every time, like, because Cole, for some reason, shoots like half of his promos at his house, I always just want Britt to be in the back doing the face or some shit.
I love the idea that Cole's just like, guys, I'm not coming in this week. Get me on the iPad.
Yeah. My eye still hurts.
And like there is a reason, like that it's to set up the Pat McAfee angle later, so he can't make that.
But wasn't he there the week before?
Yeah, but he's not there the week Pat McAfee is there. That's the point.
But like they said, he wasn't there because he was nursing his injuries. Wouldn't his injuries be more fresh and more painful the week before?
Maybe he came to work last week thinking he could do it, then realized he was very bad and in very bad shape, so he had to stay home for a week.
That's fair.
Ember Moon beat Jessie Kamea. There you go.
That's my review.
I don't remember. There was a squash. Come on. Speaking of squashes, the colossal Bronson Reed squashed Austin Theory, and then Austin Theory quit.
Reed's Titantron rules.
It's pretty good. As I said, I'm on board with the colossal Bronson Reed. I'm on the big Bronson energy train.
That's not a thing anymore.
Nonetheless, thick boy.
He doesn't
thick
do that
boy
anymore
Bronson
either.
Reed. I like the colossal is basically the thick boy gimmick. It's like the colossal
it's the
and
serious
thick boy
version of it.
are synonyms, but yeah, it's the serious thick boy.
Yeah, serious thick boy. I'm a big fan of it. I don't. It's so weird because they have so many like of these mid card level dudes, and then like 2 main eventers.
Yes,
it's like maybe we should try building some of these up and not just having them beat the same nerds everywhere.
Well, they're pushing Damian Priest. I think they're trying to elevate Damian Priest above that mid card nerd.
I think
slot.
he is almost, but like soon maybe you have to, I don't know, have Priest drop the belt and then go up further and then have someone take that spot.
Yeah, have the Bronson Reeds and Cameron Grimes of the world actually be pushed. Instead of, I'm sure Bronson Reed will lose to Kushida next week, and then Kushida will lose to Damian Priest, and then Damian Priest will lose to Johnny Gargano, and then Johnny Gargano will lose to going on the chain.
Will still be in the for the next 10 years.
Reed squashed Theory again before Austin Theory quit. So good.
Yeah. Oh, and we'll never have to see him ever again.
I'm sure that's the way this will.
This Xia Li stuff's weird.
She needs this match, Liam. She needs it.
It just reads to me like she has her family hostage somewhere.
Yeah.
And then like
Boa walked up to her. It's like, here's an envelope, and in the envelope is pictures of her family tied up. And if it's like, if you cannot beat Casey Catanzaro, your family will die.
It's like it feels like on the level of like soon there's gonna be people at Blizzard eGame Sports talking about Xia Li, and then they'll get fired.
We'll be cancelling Boa on Twitter.
Yeah. That should be, if that's the direction they go with the gimmick, they become like nationalists who only follow like it's all China. Taiwan doesn't exist. It's Taiwan, right? I'm not that versed in international politics, but yeah, like that's it feels so, it's so weird. It's like one of those things where it's happening on screen and I just get a little uncomfortable. Like if it was, I think it just doesn't feel like a thing that's pro wrestling.
And also, like, William Regal is like, sure, Xia, it's not that important. And Xia's like, no, William, you don't understand.
Well, they're gonna burn down my house.
This match. And William's
Please.
like, I'll take it under consideration.
Yeah, it doesn't want to be seen, backing down.
Yes.
But and the things I like Xia Li, and obviously big ball boys, but It's just it's a weird angle.
Legado del Fantasma defeated your unknown wrestler Ashanti, the Adonis, Jake Atlas, Isaiah Scott. I don't know what they're doing here. Because, like, Legado del Fantasma keep beating Scott, and Scott keeps somehow, like, getting title matches.
Maybe it's just we're not caught up with the 205 law. So maybe this is a story that's being told on 205. The nuance of it all.
No, aren't 205 Live doing the 205 Live originals against the 205 Live New Breed angle at the moment?
Excuse me?
There's like Everrise and like what's his name, Mansoor against like Brian Kendrick and Tony Nese, I think, in a 205 Live originals
Kurt Stallion
against 205 Live. Yeah, it's Kurt Stallion's another one of the New Breed, and Brian Kendrick's like, I'm one of the old heads here on 205 Live. You people you Johnny Come Latelys can't do anything.
I didn't even know that Brian Kendrick was still on TV.
I think it's probably, yeah. Arya Daivari cutting promos on these kids not knowing how to work.
Hilarious.
Did you see Bound for Glory last night? Or did you see Daivari? The guy is jacked.
Dude's jacked.
He has muscles on muscles on muscles.
Shout out to that guy.
I like this match. Again, I'm still always slightly disappointed in these Legado del Fantasma 6-mans because I expected more, but they're good matches.
I think, I just want Wilder Mendoza to, be tag champs or something.
Yeah, and Wild has cool gear. Wild always has cool gear.
Dude,
it's always,
all of them.
different and weird.
Legado del Fantasma, literally all of them have amazing, and it's all different too. Good stuff. Purely based on aesthetic alone. Great state.
We go to the Gargano household, in which they have a training wheel, which is a tiny version of the spin the wheel, make the deal wheel, which I very much approve of.
Why does the wheel want me dead?
Johnny Gargano is very upset at the wheel. Johnny Gargano is like what Chris Jericho is trying to be, basically.
Nah, I don't know.
Johnny Gargano is good Chris Jericho. I've decided
I don't know if that's true at all. Although, I wouldn't be opposed to a Candice Gargano musical next week.
Oh, it would be so good. Johnny and Candice should do a musical. Come on. Should be about how much they hate wheels.
Yeah. Spin the wheel. You gotta go in and make the deal.
And Liam, I would believe 100% that Johnny and Candice spontaneously break into song.
And also the fact, and that they would be able to, match each other too, perfectly, because they're so in sync with each other. Yes.
I would not have a believability issue there if they just broke into song.
Exactly.
Johnny hates wheels. It wants him dead. It gave him buried alive. Candice LeRae got a trick or street fight, and she was like, I've never lost a street fight. And Johnny was not amused because he got a casket match. And he's very upset.
Buried alive and then casket. That's a rough to-go of it. Is the payoff going to be that he actually gets one of those matches?
I don't know.
I hope the payoff is it's a death match.
Coal miner's glove match, and Johnny's like, what the hell is that?
No, he wanted he before he spun the wheel the second time, he said, come on, coal miner's glove.
He should it's a tracksuit match. He's gonna get a tracksuit match.
First person to take the other person's tracksuit.
Yeah,
Damian Priest.
It's the Mike Spears special.
Ever Rise?
Yes, Ever Rise defeated Killian Dane and Drake Maverick, but then after the match they were beating up Drake, and then Killian Dane made the save, and he's like, oh, no one can beat up Drake but me!
No, that was last week.
But they're still friends.
This week it was Drake got DQ'd, and then he was
Drake
that's
snapped.
the fire I want to see, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
And I like that. That's exactly what I wanted that to happen with. As soon as he DQ'd, I wanted Dane to be like, yeah, come on, boy.
I will say, I like the whistling theme.
Yes, we're back, boy. We're back on this.
I don't like Spud being a goof, because he can be so much more. But I do like the whistling theme.
Furry and the Fury, tag team of the year.
And last week on NXT, when he was when he cut off the whistling, and Spud was like, we didn't even get to the whistling part. Very upset.
Yeah.
God, don't make me turn the corner on this after Burry. No, I can never admit I'm wrong.
But no, we weren't. No, remember, we weren't wrong. Okay, the first time it sucked.
It's just gotten better, and now we're right.
They've improved.
We're always on the right side of it.
Yeah, never wrong. Ever rise, never wrong.
Undisputed Era were taken out, and Kyle O'Reilly was like, "Oh, my friends."
It's the lizard people. They killed Bobby.
Casey Catanzaro beat Xia Li, which means one of Xia Li's family has been murdered.
Unfortunate.
Rick Mel Gonzalez beat people up after the match and cut a promo on Rhea Ripley.
What is her connection to the Chinese government?
That's a question we should all be asking.
Raquel, show us the emails.
Oh,
yeah.
Thatcher. Tim Thatcher had a
that was fine. That wasn't even towing the line there.
Yeah, you like this Tim Thatcher
I
segment.
thought it was really good. Okay. I thought that, like, the fact that they framed it like it was like a UFC public workout where they just had everyone around, and the fact that the crowd was into it at the start and they clapped along when he was showing different techniques.
Which I assume that's the way Tim Thatcher's life works. Everyone just claps along as he shows people techniques.
Yeah, and then, you know, Andrew Green for some reason instead of Anthony.
Sure.
Yeah, he fought back and then he got beat up. Yeah, it was good stuff.
There you go. And now Tim Thatcher will wrestle Bronson Reed on next week's NXT and lose. Well, we only have one more match, Liam, our main event, in which Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch defeated Breezango, in which they actually did the same angle now that I think about it, in which a mystery man, the mystery man made much more sense because it was revealed as Pat McAfee here than it did on AEW, but the mystery man Pat McAfee helped them defeat Breezango in a decision I don't like on multiple levels because Breezango barely won, but I also don't like Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch as like heels because they were like the underdog likable tag team.
Yeah, I was gonna say the underdogs, they finally won the big one, but they had to go bad to...
I prefer those two wrestlers as but
it also kind of proves, like, if they start just beating dudes now, it's gonna be so weird because it's like you couldn't do it before, but then you won the titles and you suddenly can now.
But it's going to be even worse. They're only going to beat people because of Pat cheating.
But that makes more sense.
I don't care. I'm
like,
sick
it's going to
of
lead to
interference
worse
in wrestling.
matches, but it makes more sense.
Done to death.
I thought you were the logic person, huh?
I don't mind Pat McAfee. I'm a very logical. On the show as a manager, I wish just picked somebody better to.
Well, I think he was supposed to be Ridge Holland first, so...
Was it? Do you think it was supposed to be a stable with Ridge Holland and Oney and Burch?
Maybe. Just dudes that Liam likes, and Pat McAfee.
Yeah. Sure, yeah. I'm still unsure whether Undisputed Era are baby faces.
Well, the thing was, last week when they came out, they got booed. And it's like, they control the booths, so...
So we were meant to dislike them last week, but they were screwed this week after they were attacked. Is this their baby face? Is this like the final moment? Their like 16th babyface turn in the last like 4 weeks. We're finally actually doing it.
Sure. What is this going to lead to? Another Adam Cole Pat McAfee match?
War game?
Ridge Holland returns with one leg.
Undisputed Era against Pat McAfee and friends in War Games, maybe?
Oh, then who's his next friend going to be?
It's going to be...
Me.
Tim Thatcher. No, it's going to be Andrew Green after he was so impressed that he stood up to Tim Thatcher.
It's going to be Ashante Theodon.
I can't believe you don't know who do you want.
Well,
It's going to be Chad Gable returning to NXT.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to do
Austin
a swap
Theory.
with Austin. I was going to say, his swap with Austin Theory. It's definitely, isn't it?
Oh, he's going to have the non-stable? Allegedly.
Sure. Match of the week.
Well, let's do match of last week first. Or 2 weeks ago first.
Oh, yeah, match of 2 weeks. Oh, no, I closed the tabs. Now I don't remember what was on.
But I also
show.
closed the tabs. Quick, vamped.
So we always, of course, pick the best match of the week. And it's a tradition on our podcast that we pick those matches and decide which of those matches is the best match. And then award it match of the week on our show so that it can be celebrated.
We had Mox Archer. We had Sheeta and Swole. We had, Cody and OC. And we had Miro and his Legion somebody. Sean Maluda. And then we
I don't even have to check. On NXT, my vote goes to Candice and Shotzi.
Sure. I'll give it to Candice and Shotzi. Yeah.
There you go. Candice and Shotzi match of the week. Which was the better show last week? Or 2 weeks ago?
I liked the other show. I liked AEW.
Yeah. I think AEW is narrowly beating it there, but it's a better show.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then match of the week this week. Do I even have to ask?
Garrett. My mind says one thing, but my body...
Just pick the Wardlow match. Do it.
I pick Wardlow.
I'll pick Penta.
And yeah, it was one of the better AEW shows too. So
Johnny Gargano was great.
yeah, but you can't give it. You can't give it to NXT based on one Johnny Gargano thing.
Can't I?
I mean,
you've given like entire
hey,
show ratings because
say,
of Wardlow matches before.
I don't think that's true. But if it was an even week, then definitely you could do that. But it was kind of a blowout.
All right, but Johnny's doing his best. He's doing good work.
I'm not debating that.
You can listen to Wednesday War Games usually every week. Oh, we had a poll. I don't even think we did polls. I mean, one of them. We did a poll 2 weeks ago in which AEW won 83-17, and then we didn't do a poll this week because I forgot. But also you forgot.
Yeah, but it's not my responsibility.
Alright, listen, pal. You can follow us on Twitter at WarGamesPod, where if we do vote in the poll, or if we do post the poll, you can vote in it. If you would like more AEW coverage in your podcasting feed, you can listen to Everything Elite. If you'd like more WWE television show coverage in your podcasting feed, you can listen to Shake Them Ropes. Thanks for listening, and bye-bye.
Bye.